pretty much think that we'll be covering something about the property industry reforms every week now, right up until when they come into play in March. So on the 23rd of March, in fact. So it is the regular question. We are getting so many questions about the reforms and what it means. All I can say is that when we're talking reforms, take a really big deep breath, and they're not as harmful as you think. They're not. Take the urgency out of this. For some things, there's a bit of urgency. For other things, just carry on. Do your job. Get on with it. And you just need to structure things that maybe a little bit differently. So let's take a look at some of the major issues that have been talked about in the past week by many of your colleagues, and so lots of agents throughout New South Wales. And really, the urgency here is for people who are studying their certificate of registration. You have to complete the course you are currently doing. You need to pass your assessments. You have to have your statement of attainment issued, because they are units out of the current certificate for in property services in real estate. So you need to have those issued, and you need to make your application to fair trading prior to the implementation of the reforms. So in other words, the reforms start on the 23rd of March. You need to have these lodged pre-22nd of March. So because on the 23rd of March, there is a line in the sand, you actually, whatever statement of attainment you've got up to date, you will not be able to apply for a certificate of registration to be an assistant agent past that date without the new units of competency from the certificate for in real estate practice, which is the new qualification. So there's that transitional period, but there is no overlap on this one. Every time qualifications have changed in the past, in the past 20 plus years, there has always been a transitional period. For certificate of registration, there is not a transitional period. There is pre and post 23rd of March. So guys, if you're currently doing your certificate of registration, make sure you get that lodged. So please, that is, I implore you. Otherwise, you'll be doing whole new assessments, whole new ball game, new criteria. So let's get that done now. If you're doing a license, if you're studying a license, look, less urgency, because it just means that if you've held your certificate for 12 months, you'll be eligible, if you've been working, you'll be signed off, get your qualification done, so long as you've done one unit of competency. So if you've done your certificate of registration, you're currently working as an assistant agent or on a certificate of registration, you've got the requirements. You can continue with that certificate for in property services, what you can commonly term the old qualification, and you can keep working on that for another year and a half in terms of fair trading accepting that as the qualification for a license, for a Class 2 license. Okay, yes, you'll have to meet the 1 year of a certificate and the experience requirements, but that's the same. So the new qualification, the old qualification, depending on when you've started it, take the urgency out of all of that. So the next point is for a Class 1 license. You need to have held a license for 2 years to make application in the next, between March 2020 and March 2021, or you need to be the nominated licensee in charge of a corporation. So if you don't fall into either of those two buckets, then again, there's no urgency on getting those other, the higher level, the diploma qualification, because you need the 2 years of experience. So what is the urgency here is if you think you may ever wish to have another category of license, if you are currently a real estate agent and a licensed real estate agent, and you think you might want the stock and station or the strata license, now is the time to get that done and get it finished before the 23rd of March and lodged with fair trading, because the criteria are quite different when you are adding on a category. So most definitely the time to do that now. So because that additional category, there are changes there. If you're thinking along those lines, please give us a call. So, and we can talk you through your specific situation, because it really is. It's very different for every single person. It's different because of when you initially got your certificate, when you initially got your license, what qualifications you'd actually done, when you did those qualifications. There's so many variables. And of course, what experience you bring to the table. Recognition of prior learning, big deal in getting across the line. If you've got that experience, fabulous. If you haven't got that experience, then yeah, you're going to, one, have to get the experience, two, do the training. So it's, fairly easy, but it is definitely tailored to your individual situations. So get rid of the stress, take a deep breath. If you have issues, flick us an email, pick up the phone. Anyone here can help you through your own individual situation. Really happy to help.